Hello, teachers. This week, we're going to focus on missions. And as you know, it's the last week of the semester and the school year. So I encourage you to celebrate it with your students. But the first 5 sessions of our summer curriculum will be focused on the topic of missions. And the main key memory verse will be Mark 16:15, which says, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation." So I'll be sharing about missions and what it is and this memory verse. For your classes, I prepared some activity ideas and also prompts and questions that you could go over with your students. So you could start off with asking what the word mission itself means. And I think a lot of them would know, but it generally means being given a job to do something important. So, for example, I'm giving you a mission to rescue the puppies. I think you could have some activities where you could give each student a mission, maybe to do something nice to one another, or you could even do something like Simon Says, or I've thought about like a Fishers of Men activity where they're given a mission to pick up paper cutouts of people with the string with the tape on it to save them. Or you could even watch a video about a missionary. So I have a couple of videos here that you could share. I think one is about 5 minutes, another is 10 minutes. But you could also find other videos of missionaries that you like, or just tell them a story about it. An activity that I would recommend is to memorize or at least practice the key memory verse, Mark 16:15. And if you had any mission trip or evangelism experience, I highly encourage you to share that with your students as well. In church, we use the word mission to describe an important job that God gave us. And you could even refer them to Matthew 28, where Jesus tells his disciples to make disciples of all nations. But another nuance of missions is sharing the gospel with people of a different culture. It's a cross-cultural evangelism. It can happen in another country or it can happen in our own country because there are people of different cultures in our country as well. And what is the gospel? I think it will be a good time to review what the gospel is. And this PDF shows us what the gospel project teaches us how to share. It has 5 parts: God rules, we sinned, God provided, Jesus gives, and we respond. And another activity that you guys can do is just ask, what is your culture? What are the things that you believe? So there are multiple layers of culture: your family culture, a culture in your school, or culture in your region. Texas culture is different from New York culture. What are the things they practice as a family or us as a church? What are the things that distinguish certain groups from another? And I think here it will be good to emphasize that differences are not a bad thing. There are Asian Americans, there are white Americans, Black Americans, and Hispanic Americans, and all different types of Americans. So America is definitely unique in this way compared to some monocultural countries. But I think it's good to be aware of what is our culture and what is Christianity. And Christianity always expresses itself in a specific culture, but we should never combine the two. We should be able to criticize parts of our culture that are contrary to the Bible and also redeem those things so that it becomes aligned with the gospel. How did God the Son coming to earth in the form of a man teach us how we should do missions? He comes from heaven to earth. And a lot of missionaries go from one country to another. They are willing to learn the ways of another country, live like them, to serve them, to be a learner of their languages and customs in order to share the gospel with them. And Jesus modeled that for us really well. He humbled himself, he served us, he lived like us, ate like us, talked like us, he hurt like us, and he suffered to save us. And many missionaries suffer in order to share the gospel. And oftentimes, there are people that have to lay down their lives. The second part of our summer curriculum is learning the books of the Bible. And you could ask these simple questions like, did you know there are two parts of the Bible, the OT and the NT? Did you know that the Bible is made up of many books? It's not just one book, but there are 66 books in the Bible. There are 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New. You could ask them, what are the books of the Bible that you know? Maybe have them all try to compile the books of the Bible that they know together. But one of the parts of the Bible in the New Testament is called the Gospels, and they are the books of the Bible that talk about the life and teachings of Jesus. So the lowercase gospel is the message of salvation. That's what we share during evangelism. And the uppercase gospel refer to the books of the Bible, which are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And if they can memorize that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are the Gospels, which talk about the life and teachings of Jesus, that would be good. And here are some other activity ideas. Thank you, teachers. Feel free to be creative this week for other topics related to missions or the books of the Bible, and also celebrating while looking back to what we have learned in the past year.